I have a problem. I want to build some insane projects in my hardcore world, but these are literally all the materials I own. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. So today we're fixing that by building some of Minecraft's most overpowered farms, starting with this cobblestone farm. Perfect. Infinite building blocks, which means our next farm is a villager breeder. All we need is 2 villagers in this little pen, but they're all the way down there. So rails, staircase, and boom. Villager number 1 and villager number 2. All we need to do is give them some carrots, and now they can get to breeding. And there's our first baby villager. Too easy. And with villagers comes the real prize, the iron farm. Because my chest, only 16 iron ingots. And for a guy in full netherite, that's not good enough. But with this beast built, we've got iron pouring in. And that is another problem solved. But we have another issue. I can't fly because I have no rockets. I'm still fighting creepers for gunpowder, and I am done with nearly dying to these guys. So let's build a gunpowder farm. There's a tiny catch. We need 136 cats. Yeah, hours of fishing and breeding later, the farm is now complete. Don't ask about the chat log. But rockets also need paper, which means we need sugarcane. So we'll grab some of this and then we can get to building. And boom. Tier 3 rockets for days. Finally, we can fly. Now that I actually can move around, things are speeding up. First, a sand duper for infinite gravity blocks. Then, we can fix our storage problems with a shulker farm. And I've got more boxes than I'll ever need. Sticky blocks are up next. First, we've got bees for honey, but we have a problem. I have only 10 flowers. An easy fix, a flower farm. Now we can breed all the bees, and we have honey flowing in. And then we have slime. Took 2 painful hours to find the first swamp.
2 hours later.
But now, we have infinite slime balls. Another problem solved. And now, for our biggest problem, wood. My forests are absolutely destroyed. Floating trees everywhere. So an automatic wood farm will definitely fix that problem. But wood farms need bone meal. And we have none. So bone meal farm is up next. And just like that, infinite wood, we're never going to need to chop a tree again. But there is one key resource missing, and that is redstone. I have stacks upon stacks of iron, but almost no redstone. Which means which farm? And witches are spawning. And we've got more redstone than we're ever going to need. Next issue, food. I was living on 3 pieces of bread. That's just embarrassing. So a carrot farm, layer after layer after layer, until I had more carrots than I could eat in 10 lifetimes. But carrots alone aren't enough. I needed gold. Enter the gold farm. After hours of collecting and building, we now have gold pouring in and golden carrots everywhere. And with gold comes piggling trades. Quartz, string, blackstone, basically every resource I'll ever need. And with a piggling bartering farm built, chest filled with gold, leather flipped, and boom, loot for days. Of course, I needed a way to cook everything, so a super smelter was the solution. But it needed fuel, which meant building a massive lava farm. And after half an hour of filling this up with lava, it's running perfectly. Super smelter plus lava farm equals cooking everything forever. Then came the most dangerous farm yet. The one that nearly ended this hardcore world. The Wither Skeleton farm. The farm worked, skulls are everywhere, and that leaves us with only one thing remaining. Wither fights. A few wither fights later, we have 14 nether stars, which means 14 beacons, and now stone, redstone, and repeaters are basically endless. This world is getting unstoppable. But we weren't done, because in hardcore Minecraft, immortality comes from one thing, and one thing only. Totems. So I built a raid farm. Hours of setup, bad omen in hand, and then evokers, vindicators, pillagers everywhere, totems dropping left and right. And after an hour, I had more totems than I'll ever need. Immortal, invincible, and with every farm built, I now have infinite resources for whatever insane projects I dream up. Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next.